Hey folks, Dr. Star, Silver Spring Medical Center. Here's your 5 minute daily or question of the day, I should say. It's not going to take us more than 5 minutes or so. So welcome for this morning, and I hope you enjoy the information. Um, okay, question of the day is help. What am I going to do on Thanksgiving? Now you can switch the word Thanksgiving for anything. I'm going on a cruise. What am I going to do? I'm going to my relatives for a week. What am I going to do? I've got a business trip this weekend. What am I going to do? First of all, don't panic. The key to really realize that on the program early on, generally you're going to have a low calorie allotment. You're going to have maybe 500 calories if you're doing for the first month with HCG. You might have 700 or 800 calories a day while you're on either the medication, the supplements, or whatever the case might be. There's a lot you can do. Yes, it's going to test your willpower for sure. But then again, after you're outside our office for we only treat patients mostly anywhere from 1 to 6 months for the weight loss. The ones who advance and do very well for the rest of your life, you don't have us, and you're not going to be on a low calorie diet. Humans are not meant to sustain themselves for the long term haul on a small amount of calories. You're just not. But what we have to learn as a general obese society, or certainly an overweight society, we're getting closer to 70% of people are now overweight. And it used to be 15 years ago, it used to be only about 20% were obese categorically or obese medically. Now it's been 35% for a while, and now it's up to 38%. So we're getting to the point where this is a real epidemic, obviously. And I know I'm preaching to the choir because obviously it wouldn't be under our care if you weren't concerned about making a lifelong change. But like we said at the beginning, we have to devise a way to trick your body into losing the weight quickly and efficiently and safely. And that's what we do, and it works very well. If you're not losing regularly, if you're not losing at least 1 or 2 pounds per week at least, then you're doing something wrong. It's not the medicine. It is very simple mathematical and scientific formula. It just simply, you will lose weight. Now, the hard part, and we always emphasize this, the difficult part is learning what it takes so that for the long haul, you don't need us, or you don't need medication, you don't need a supplement, you don't need tricks, okay? Is to learn what it takes to make these lifetime dietary lifestyle changes. And basically what this entails is not major willpower, because although at the beginning it is a little bit difficult. If you want to stop eating pizza, every time you see pizza at the beginning, it's going to be a little bit hard because it smells good and looks good and tastes good, and nobody's denying that. I mean, God knows I haven't had pizza in years, but I know it's still good. I know it tastes yummy, but I just choose not to abuse my body that way. So, um, and again, a certain amount, I hate when people say moderation, everything in moderation. That's not true. That's only for stuff that's actually good for you. Things that are clearly bad for you, no amount is good. Okay, there is no moderation when it comes to cigarettes or drugs that are harmful to you. So certain foods are just plain harmful to you. You shouldn't eat them. Okay, cheese happens to be one of them. There's not a whole lot of medical support showing that cheese is really healthy. It's not, contrary to what the Dairy Council will tell you. So back on target. What you do on Thanksgiving and different occasions, specialty occasions, is number one, don't panic if you have a meal that you eat a little bit more, or you eat things that you wouldn't normally eat. Don't kill yourself over it, okay? It's not happening that often, but as long as Thanksgiving stays once a year, or that birthday or that anniversary stays once a year, that's okay. So number one, don't kill yourself. Number two is look at the foods that are generally calorie less dense, okay? And enjoy and fill yourself up on those. Fruits, vegetables galore are extremely calorie light. You can fill up on a huge salad and everything, cauliflower, zucchini, peas. I mean, there's so much that you can eat, and it's so yummy and delicious, and it'll fill you physically, and it'll satiate you. So try to go for those things. Keep as best as you can to your calorie count. But if you go over a little bit, that's okay. One meal is not going to completely sidetrack you. But the way you do it really when you go through these episodes is to eat a little bit beforehand. Okay, before you get into the major meal, don't go straight into the Thanksgiving meal, famished, because then everything looks good. So eat ahead of time. Have your ability to eat these less calorie dense or calorie light foods, and the fruits and vegetables are really the things to go into. And again, it could be just something like a starter, like an appetizer before you get into the main meal. And then try to minimize your portions, and you'll do fine. Okay, it's really not all that terrible. And if you have several days of doing this, then that's what you try to keep in mind. Good. We're past our time, a little bit longer, but it's worth it. Have a great day. Thanks for listening, and all the best. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.